Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to another Monday morning Art Talk. So today what I wanted to talk about was something common, happens all the time, and it deals with fear and anxiety. Now this is big, something I've definitely gone through and experience, like I'm sure many of you have. Maybe some of you are going through it right now, just experiencing it in any different form, like where you get your fear and your anxiety comes from all different levels. It could be you just having to talk to someone. It could be you watching something. It could be you listening to something. And this sort of creates this uneasy feeling in you. It's a stressful situation. It causes that anxiety based on the fact that you're unaware of what this outcome is going to be, what it's going to feel like. I did another art talk about, I had mentioned that fear one time of when I went on a water slide, not knowing what the end result was going to be, so it scares the bejeez out of you. But what I want to talk about is really how it affects people in everyday lives, and more specifically, how to maybe do something to avoid it and just let your mind rest a bit. Let you just kind of get a little bit calmer, in your place. But what it requires is just you, number one, being aware of it, and number two, just doing something about it. Okay, so one factor I'll talk about, just the anxiety that may happen, is on an everyday occurrence, is your own unsure destiny, right? We don't know where we're going to end up, what's going to happen. And I've again mentioned this before, but I got to get into this sort of just the Facebook craze and the Instagram craze, and this idea that you got to post something every single day, do all the time, and if you don't, then where are you going to be, where are you going to end up? But this anxiety of having to, you sometimes even go on the internet and all of a sudden, again, seeing something on there that starts to upset you. It could be a political thing that upsets you. It could be one of your friends doing something that, is making you upset or jealous. And I really feel, as much as I appreciate social media and love it, I'm partaking in it, as you guys know, is you gotta put that in check and not be on it all the time, because this is where the anxiety happens. So I would say that I went through this experience, and it happened especially, the internet's been, the Facebook and Instagram, it's been around a while now, but especially in the early days, and this may even be even just as much as a year ago, a year and a half ago, 2 years, where you're looking at it all the time, this obsession, and you're starting to feel like, God, man, all this great stuff that you're seeing, and again, it just, you can't explain it, but it sort of just like, it freaks you out a bit, all right? And the only way that I was able to curtail that and focus on me, Steven Silva, doing what I do, improving upon my skills and working on trying to do my best, and every time I would get a job, was just to focus and not on that and put that other stuff aside. So if you go through that, if you feel like you're one of those people who gets the anxiety based on the responses and reactions that you're getting on social media, you need to just step away from it. You need to stop looking at social media for so long and maybe break it down to 2 minutes, 3 minutes at a burst at a time, maybe 2 times a day. And that's it. And let yourself be free. Just free yourself. Imagine yourself just being in the woods, out doing something outdoors. Just put yourself there, even if you're not going for a walk, whatever it means. Just sort of, you got to step away, and this is one of these ways just to get through that, okay? Because again, this anticipation of things to come is where all this anxiety starts to build up, and it gets in your head and starts to, oh my God, you start to just, you know, work it. What's the outcome? What's going to happen? What am I seeing? What's doing? What am I doing? Blah, 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 go crazy, crazy, crazy. So you just got to know that that's what you have to do, is walk away. It's the same thing you do when you're going through a bad drawing day and you're going through and working on an illustration and it's just giving you just this sort of anxiety and it's not coming down. You got to walk away. You can't just, sometimes there's those, you can't, you know, you could say, well, be the professional and just deal with it and face it. Sometimes you have no choice. You got a deadline. You got to get things done. But if you can, try to change it. I'm going to sneeze, so I'm going to sneeze right now, but I'm going to stop this video and you're not going to hear me sneeze. I'm back from sneezing. See that? It just was magic. You guys didn't even see me sneeze because with the magic of editing, it just disappeared like that. The other thing that I want to talk about is an anxiety that people are having with this political aspect of what's going on. For those of you living in the United States, we have a new president, okay? And here I am again. I'm not going to go one way or the other on this because there's some people don't know how to control themselves, okay? So I'm just going to say to you, we have a new president and that's our president, okay? And this is who he is. Whether you like it or not, this is the way it is. And this is where acceptance comes in. So when all this was going down, I was following it all the way through. You know, from the primaries, when it was all building up and watching the whole circus happen and all these different people and everyone involved, and realized, God, what a cluster F our whole political system is. What a nightmare, you know, when you dive into it and you hear and everyone and manipulating the system and these people are doing this and this person did this and this person did this and everyone, they're all corrupt. They're all a bunch of bastards. I don't care any way you look at it. They're doing what they do, but everyone's a bunch of bastards. I don't care who you support or what it is. Every single one of them. So don't be fooled for a second and think that anyone was any better than the next, because that's false. That's not reality. The reality is, again, if you follow history, if you look back and you read about all these other past presidents, and I'm going way back, you see the corruption one after the other after the other. And it's chaotic. So during all this, I was realizing, man, I'm getting pretty frustrated, you know, through this process and seeing this. And it's sort of given me, again, this anxiety and this nervousness and all this other stuff. And then the election day came, and then people with their posts and all this and just getting so irate and spewing the hatred and this and that and thinking they're helping people, and the anxiety. And I could see the tension and you could feel it and you can see it. So the only way to break through that is I had to stop, cut it out. Just had to cut. I had to stop watching all the news channels I was watching, you know, and I was being fair and balanced. I'm watching all of them, you know, from CNN to Fox, and just looking at the gamut. What are they saying? What are they saying? And you don't even know who's right and who's wrong anymore, in all honesty. It's so spread out. I wish there was some, you know, there was some real insider, but you know what? Everyone's trying to get ratings. You know how they always breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Everyone's got breaking news. Come on. That's the way to get everyone to go, oh, what's happening? So what it causes was all this anxiety. So the best thing to do was sort of step away from it once again. So I stopped watching the news and I cut it out. Any one of my friends or anyone who was posting anything political, if I started to see something, I just skip right by it. I don't want to know your opinion. I don't care about your opinion. You know, you don't need, you know, whatever it is. It's just like, come on. If you got something to say, talk to your friends about it. I had some, I've gone, you know, to lunches with friends where we've just discussed things, and that's where you sort of air it out, whatever your grievances may be, whatever it is. But you have to step away because of the anxiety that it's causing. And if you don't, you're going to stress yourself out. You're overthinking. Once again, you don't know what the outcome's going to be. Again, no matter how you feel about this president, you don't know what the outcome's going to be. You know, it was a funny thing too about, you know, my son was even reading this yesterday. He was reading me this thing and what they're discussing in school, you know, which is funny. He's in high school, 9th grade. And they're talking about, you know, the whole, you know, the appreciation of, you know, the women and women's rights and all that. And, you know, this, you know, it's great. This is what we do here. We express our voice. We talk about things. But what they were discussing in school was, here they're talking about the women's movement, which was a very powerful movement to get women jobs, equality, doing all this. But now all the women that were just getting up and walking away from their jobs and stopping teaching in classrooms to go voice their opinion, to where, isn't this what you were fighting for? Isn't this what you were fighting for, to have jobs, you know, as a woman, and to be to be a teacher and all this? But now you're just stepping away from that and just like shutting the doors on people. And it was kind of this weird, and again, I'm looking at it from, here's my 14-year-old, and this is what they're discussing in school and going, what the hell? You know, so it's this weird sort of balance. And this is why I got these bracelets that I made that I wear all the time, and on my bracelet I have it even written on my Jeep, and my saying is spend a calm life. And that's what it is, spend a calm life. And how do you spend a calm life? You spend a calm life by not putting yourself in the middle of the fire, okay? And no matter where you stand, you can say all these things that you're going crazy about. Do you know them to be true for sure? Are you experiencing it yourself? Has it actually happened? All this fear that you think the thing that's going to happen to you and your world is going to crumble because of this and your world is going to be chaos. Is that happening right now? Are you being present? Are you living life now? Are you here right now? Are you predicting, trying to, you know, building yourself, giving yourself all this anxiety for something that you don't even know is going to happen yet, or has occurred yet, or has affected you, you know, in a way that this is very important, because these sort of ideas, and again, just putting it in your mind, it's like emptying, it's like taking this bucket of chaos and just, hey, I want that bucket of chaos, and I want to put that bucket of chaos right inside my mind and put it all in my head, even though it's not my bucket of chaos. I'm going to stick it all there, and I'm going to mess up my life, and I'm going to voice my opinion and get everyone else worked up and pissed off, and I'm not going to focus on my day, on my life, on my world, on anything. And it's funny because a lot of these people who are, you know, who are so upset about stuff, doing stuff, are you doing anything to make a change, you know, effectively? Is there anything you can do to make a change effectively that's, you know, that's really effective? Are you doing that? Are you doing these things? Most of the time, no. And I can honestly say that, and I see it most of the time, no. I was with a friend of mine, and he was raging and just wants to fucking tear everything apart and so angry, and just like, calm down, man. You can't control this. It's just like, you know, what are you doing to help the situation, really, in an effective manner? And the funny thing was, there we were walking, and a guy approaches us as we're on the street and starts saying, hey, can you sign this stuff, what I'm trying to do? You know, can I get you to, you know, we want to do this. No, man, I don't want to be involved. Whoa. What are you talking about? You don't want to be involved. This is what you're talking about. You're raging, you're angry, you're pissed off, you want to change something. Here's some guy has approached you now with maybe his ideas and his thing, what he might do to change, but you don't want to be involved. That's going to take time out of your day. That's not going to work for you. You can't do that, people. Again, if you're serious about something, then do something about it. But again, what I'm trying to say to you is, if you're not going to effectively do something and make, you know, true change, it's like put up or shut up is what it comes down to. But do it in a creative way, and if that's what you want to dedicate your life to do and start really making that change and helping people all over in a way, then do it. But it's not going to do anything by you just ranting and raging and not doing anything and partaking. And again, you're putting all this pressure and stress into your mind where you fear something that, you know, hasn't happened yet. You can say, you know, I truly believe that, you know, you cross that bridge when you get to it, so to speak. Again, and everyone's got their own situation. You may be trying to get into this country. You may be trying to, you know, get a green card. You may be trying to, whatever it may be. Is everything affecting you right now? Is it blowing out your everyday life right now? Or is it an excuse or are you living in anticipation so you can't even effectively do anything for yourself? Or should you, maybe the right approach is just do what you can do today. Be here today. Do what you want to do. And if it happens, and not live in this life of what if, which we all do. What if this happens? What if that happens? Yeah, but what if it doesn't happen? It's like Mark Twain said, I've had, what did he say? It's like, I can't even think about what he said. It was on the lines of, I've had many troubles and problems in my life, many of which have never occurred. And that's the bottom line. These scenarios, these things we create, but it doesn't happen. So you're working yourself up and you're going to give yourself, you know, a thing. I mean, and for myself, you know, I don't like that. I got to kind of alleviate stress. I can't have that in my life. So this is why I do the things I do. This is why I choose to spend a calm life and try to do the best that I can. And that's what I'm just trying to say to you, is try to do the best that you can and in this situation. And I tell you, knock off the news, knock off these Facebook posts that you're looking at that. I'm telling you, it'll bring your 10 of anxiety down to here. But if you feel that, no, Stephen, you're wrong, and I'm going to do something about this, then make sure you follow through and that you don't back out and that you're not just like yapping your words, but what are you doing effective? You know, it's like I watched this great, I think I mentioned this great documentary I mentioned. It's on Netflix. It's called Poverty Incorporated. And again, I mentioned it, so I'm not going to go into the whole thing about it again, but it was fascinating to see how everyone feels like they're just helping everyone who's impoverished and everyone who's in need. But these people, they don't even want help. Their lives are being destroyed and ruined because everyone's giving them everything all the time. So their businesses, their economy, their lifestyle, everything they're doing is going out the window, and they want to really just sort of help themselves. And it's that bottom line. And it comes down to that old age, that adage we've heard of just like teach someone how to fish. You can't just keep giving people fish. Teach them how to fish so that they can support themselves and maintain themselves. So my thing is to you, if you're in that place of anxiety and stress because of all these ideas, you need to step away. You need to just change things. You need to change the outcome. And this is the Buddhist philosophy of in any situation, you either, and it's, if you want to remember it, just think CAR, C-A-R. You're either going to change the situation, you either accept the situation, or you remove yourself from a situation. And those are your only three choices in anything that comes across your plate in life in front of you. You got to do those things. I'm either going to change it, I'm going to accept it, or I got to remove myself altogether. So it's up to you. Which one of those three are you prepared to do? What are you going to do? And if you truly want to change things, then get up off your lazy ass and change things and do it effectively. But by spewing hatred or anything else is not going to affect you. I would be interested to see if there's, you know, if any comments. I always appreciate comments. Again, don't get into a political thing. I don't want to hear your views of hatred on there. I want to hear if there's any, excuse me, if there's anyone watching this and you're going through and you're experiencing right now that this was a direct result, you know, that this has completely messed up my life because of this, well, share it with everyone in the community, you know. But again, this is not a hatred site. This is not a rant site. And any of those rants or raves, I'm deleting. They're not going to be up there, okay? I want to hear just real insight, real thoughts of what you're going through. Anyway, I hope this helps. But, you know, spend a calm life. Just take deep breaths. Take a deep breath with me right now. Ready? Ready? Through your nose. Out through your mouth. Whenever you're going through these situations, just remember to breathe. We forget to breathe. Isn't that a funny thing? We breathe how many thousands, millions of times throughout our life, but we forget to truly think about breathing. So keep it calm, relax, step away, do what you can do your best, and that's my message to you. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Take care. Hello, this is Stephen, and I just wanted to tell you about this cool thing that I'm doing right now through my website at silvertunes.com. It's a Skype mentorship. In a sense, what I want to do is just talk to you, meet you, tell me about things that are happening in your life, see if there's anything that I could do to help you. I can look over your artwork, through your portfolio and just maybe try to push you in the right direction that you want to take your life and your journey. All right, so you can go to silvertoons.com, go to classes, click on mentorship, and you can learn all about it. We can try to arrange a time, set up a date. It doesn't matter where you live in the world. And I just wanted to make it just very affordable, just to open it up, because I love doing this. I love meeting people from all over the planet. It's a really cool thing, and with this technology, why not? So that's it. Thanks. Whoa! Hey! Go back. Go back.
Go back.
Great. Go back. Go back.